Namaste, children. Today I'll be beginning a new chapter, Unit 1, Solid State, in Class 12. The first chapter in Class 12 Chemistry is a solid state. What is it about, the solid state? Most of the substances we use in our daily life we know are solids. For different applications, we need solids with different properties. The properties of a solid depends upon the nature of the constituent particles and the type of binding forces operating between them. Therefore, it is important to study the structure of solids. The understanding of relationship between the structure of solids and the properties that helps in discovering new solid materials with desired properties for specific applications. Applications such as high temperature, superconductors, magnetic materials, hard materials for cutting tools, biodegradable polymers for packaging, etc. So in this unit, we shall study different possible arrangements of particles resulting in different types of structures. We should also study the correlation between the nature of binding forces between the constituent particles of solids and the properties of solids. So this chapter actually begins with the general characteristics of solids, which I feel I did not mention it because you have learned in your lower classes. The general characteristics of solids are solids have a definite mass, volume and shape. They have strong interparticle forces. They have short interparticle distances. Their constituent particles do not possess translatory motion but can only oscillate about their mean positions. They are rigid and incompressible. So all this, I need not explain it because you have learned in your lower classes. We'll begin first with the different types of solids. That is, solids are broadly classified into two, the crystalline and the amorphous solid. Next is the classification of solids. As I told you earlier, solids are broadly classified into two types, crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Based on the structural features, solids can be classified as crystalline and amorphous. Crystalline solids, as you can see here, this is that of it. The solid is here, diamond. It is a crystalline solid. The solids in which, so what are crystalline solids? The solids in which the constituent particles are arranged in an orderly manner are called crystalline solids. You can see here the arrangement is really orderly. A crystalline solid usually consists of a large number of small crystals. Each of them have a definite characteristic geometric shape. A crystalline solid has a definite characteristic shape. Crystalline solids have sharp melting points, indicating that the presence of long-range order arrangement in them. That is, a crystalline solid has a sharp melting point, and when a crystalline solid is heated slowly, the temperature rises gradually until it reaches the melting point. At the melting point, it liquefies suddenly, and on cooling, the regular geometrical shapes appear again as the solid is formed. So, as you can see in the diagram here, the solids formed have planar surfaces and there are characteristic angles between the corresponding faces. It has long range order, which means that there is a regular arrangement of constituents. The constituents can be molecules, atoms or ions throughout the three-dimensional network of crystals. Crystalline solids are anisotropic. What is this anisotropic? They are anisotropic in nature. This implies that the physical properties such as electrical resistance, refractive index, etc. show different values when measured along different directions in the same crystal. And what is the reason for that? This arises due to the different arrangement of particles in different directions. That is the reason why crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature. The physical properties like electrical, mechanical, thermal conductivity, refractive index, etc. of crystalline solids are different in different directions. And this phenomenon is known as anisotropy. Examples of crystalline solids are diamond, salt, and sugar. Next is amorphous. Amorphous example. An amorphous solid is a substance whose constituent particles do not possess a regular orderly arrangement. And some examples, let me tell you first the examples. Some examples of amorphous solids are glass is the best example, plastics, rubber, starch. In all these, the constituent particles are not orderly arranged. Quartz, we know. Quartz is SiO2, that is a crystalline form of silica. Quartz is a crystalline form of silica, that is SiO2. And in quartz, that you have learned last year, in quartz, the SiO4 tetrahedra are connected to one another in such a way so that the oxygen atom of each SiO4 tetrahedron is shared with another silicon atom. If quartz or SiO2 is melted and the melt is cooled very rapidly, we get amorphous glass. There, the arrangements of glass, the constituent particles arrangement is not in an orderly way, it is disordered. So here, you can find here a disordered arrangement of the constituent particles. Once again repeating it, substances whose constituent particles are not arranged in an orderly manner are called amorphous solids. Amorphous solids don't have a definite geometrical shape, and amorphous solids do not have a sharp melting point also. They have some orderly arrangement, but it is extended to a short distance only. While for crystalline, it is a long range order. Here it is a short range order. Thus, amorphous solids are said to have a short range order. On heating, they melt and begin to flow like liquids. Therefore, sometimes these are also called pseudo-solids or supercooled solids. That is, in amorphous solids, actually, in amorphous does not have as we have mentioned, amorphous solids does not have a sharp melting point and undergoes liquefaction over a broad range of temperature. That is the meaning. It does not have a fixed melting point, but it melts over a broad range of temperature. And that is why glasses and plastics soften over a temperature range and can be molded or blown into various shapes. Amorphous solids do not possess characteristic heat of fusion also. Amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. It is because there is no long range order in them and the arrangement is irregular along all the directions. That property is called an isotropic property. One more important point that I would like to mention is any crystalline solid can be changed into amorphous solid by melting it and then cooling the molten mass rapidly. That is, you can heat it, melt it, and then cool it rapidly. Then the crystalline solid can be converted into amorphous solid. Similarly, when amorphous solids are heated slowly, they become crystalline at some temperatures. Examples of amorphous solids are glass, wax, rubber, etc. Here we are going to learn the distinction between crystalline and amorphous solids. We have learned what are crystalline solids, what are amorphous solids. So let us go to the differences between these two. The first property mentioned here is sharp melting point. Shape and melting point, sorry. In crystalline solids, definite characteristic geometrical shape is there and melt at a sharp and characteristic temperature. We have already learned that. Amorphous solids, their irregular shape and gradually become soft over a range of temperature. The cleavage property. When cut with a sharp-edged tool, they split into two pieces and newly generated surfaces obtained are plain and smooth. While in amorphous solid, when cut with a sharp-edged tool, they cut into two pieces with irregular surfaces. Heat of fusion. When you take the property of heat of fusion, they have a definite and a characteristic heat of fusion. Crystalline solids have a definite and a characteristic heat of fusion. Amorphous solids do not have a definite heat of fusion. Anisotropy nature, order in arrangement of constituent particles. These are mentioned here. In crystalline solids, they are anisotropic in nature and they have a long range order. While in amorphous solids, they are isotropic in nature They are called pseudosolids or super cold liquids, and they have a short range order. It is RANGE. They have a short range order.